Key point 1. The benefits of charisma. Have you ever experienced a moment when you couldn't communicate your great ideas? People listened to you with bored faces, interrupted, and then someone else said the same thing and suddenly became the hero of the day. This highly frustrating situation connects to charisma, which means the ability to attract people and lead them. But don't worry, you can fix it. You can develop any skill. The only question is the amount of effort. In 1960, a single debate decided that Kennedy would become president, not Nixon. Polls showed that more than 50% of viewers were impressed by the candidate's charisma. In another case, Jamie Siminoff, the founder of the hugely popular Ring Company, was almost on the verge of collapse because of an interview where he appeared highly insecure. Charisma is important, and nearly everything important depends on charisma. Even if you're not going to become a president or start a $1 million company, developing charisma is a practical and relatively simple exercise. Do you want to learn how to win hearts in 5 seconds or keep the audience's attention until the last word of your speech? Stick with this summary. Key point 2. What charisma tastes like. Imagine that you're going to make a cocktail. You need different ingredients to do this because drinking just one thing is not exciting or tasty. The flavors should not only be different but also mix well, complementing and balancing each other. This method is the only way to create a genuinely exquisite drink. Charisma works the same way. It's not a separate trait, but a mix of them. Try to name 3 charismatic people you've met. They may be very different, but they will have something in common. You'll remember warmth and competence when you think about them. To become powerful, recognize and appreciate your strengths, and don't blame others for your weaknesses. Can I trust you? People will immediately say yes if you radiate warmth. Are you open, reliable, a good team player, kind and collaborative? Congratulations, you mastered this point. Are you intelligent, efficient, an expert, or impressive? Then you have high competence and people are confident they can rely on you. Most often, these strengths are mixed, and that's great. After all, they can be both helpful and harmful in their pure forms. Warmth without competence doesn't earn you respect from others and can make you seem weak. Similarly, competence without a drop of warmth rarely finds any support and arouses suspicion. Most people have developed one of these features, but this only shows how flexible the concept of charisma is. It's a spectrum, not a uniform recipe, and everyone can find their ideal variant within it or adjust their behavior depending on the situation. The best teams consist of people who complement each other. Think of Sherlock Holmes, who was highly competent, and Dr. Watson, who is warm and caring. Need more real-life examples? Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak covered each other's weaknesses while founding Apple. The most horrific is the danger zone, created by a lack of competence and warmth. You seem invisible and inaudible inside this bubble, but don't be afraid. You'll learn not only how to avoid this abyss, but also how to get to the very top. Key point 3. Charming without words. You can make a first impression only once. Long before you start talking, your gestures, facial expressions, posture, and movements already give the other person much information. It happens in milliseconds, but affects all future communication. Do you want an advantage in an interview, discussion, or hiring process? Use your body language. Lean in like a leader. Using this gesture, you show interest, agreement, and willingness to cooperate. It also creates a warm atmosphere and gives you a powerful look. Show openness. Crossed arms or legs, a closed posture, and limbs huddled together make you look nervous, unfriendly, and cold. Straighten your back, relax, and leave space between your arms and torso when sitting or standing. Perfect! Now you look confident. Face forward. Your torso, shoulders, and toes should face what you're paying attention to. People subconsciously read body signals. For instance, if you're talking to your partner in a cafe and your feet point toward the room's exit, they may think you're in a hurry and don't want to spend time with them. Think about space. The recent pandemic taught people how important distance can be. Still, the truth is that it affects not only health, but also social connections. People let their closest ones come within 0 to 18 inches. Then there are friends, social and public zones. Don't cross someone else's boundaries if you don't want to make the other person feel uncomfortable. But if you need to make your communication warmer, close the distance with a handshake or a gentle touch. Use eye contact. This life hack will not work the same for different cultures because in many Asian cultures, it is impolite to look directly into the eyes of a person of higher status. At the same time, avoiding someone else's gaze in Western culture is suspicious or rude. With knowledge of your environment, you can use eye contact to read emotions or show respect. The details make up the overall impression. Using these life hacks, you can impress and understand your audience better. Key point 4. The melody of your voice. Have you ever enjoyed a foreign song even though you didn't understand the lyrics? Every voice is a powerful tool that can help create a wonderful melody and evoke emotions. How can you master it? Here are some tips. Your voice gives you power. Vanessa Van Edwards. Even if a person claims excellent success, it's hard to believe them if their voice trembles. The reason is a nervous pitch, which shows uncertainty and stress. Even if you feel this way, you can hide it by changing your posture. Straighten your back and shoulders. Choose a position where your lungs will have enough air and your movements are free. Your voice will be more relaxed and closer to a confident pitch. Also, try not to speak at the peak of your inhale. It's better to take a deep breath and release it. What's next? Power, of course. Researchers believe that people consider a lower voice pitch to be mightier. Try to achieve it by calming down, but don't imitate. Your voice should sound natural, just a bit deeper than usual. Otherwise, it causes dissonance, and the people you talk to will subconsciously feel uncomfortable. Communication is a complex ancient art. Much depends on the intonation. When you ask a question, your tone automatically becomes higher at the end of the sentence. Have you ever noticed this? Unfortunately, many people speak standard sentences with a questioning tone. Then their voice doesn't state their position, but waits for approval or praise. Total anti-charisma. Another critical point is pauses. They help to set the rhythm for the whole conversation and, when placed correctly, add power to your voice. Do you want to sound like a galaxy ruler or a dragon army queen? Speak in shorter sentences and take small pauses between them. Such breaks are an excellent opportunity to inhale and make the following words sound lower and clearer. Try replacing fillers like or well with breaths. Alternatively, you can use rhetorical questions. This approach will make you sound more confident and sophisticated. The more you try, the easier it will be. Key point 5. What you say changes the world. In movies and TV shows, heroes often shout the names of various tricks or spells to awaken superpowers. While you can't shoot lightning from your hands or breathe fire, words do matter. When chosen correctly, they can have an incredible impact. In the 90s, Hotmail was a real surprise for the U.S. market and later worldwide. Many people tried to explain its rapid growth with many factors, but the most significant were just 2 lines. I love you. Get your free email at hotmail.com. At the end of their first emails, these simple words were tremendously impressive. The first sentence was effective for those who cared about warmth, and the second for those who cared about competence. Most words used in business or interpersonal communication fall into one of these categories. Let's try to distinguish them. Warm words convey optimism, friendliness, and openness. Together, connection, and happiness immediately evoke pleasant associations. When communicating online, you're limited in facial expressions or gestures. Still, you can compensate for this by using emojis, photos, or GIFs, even in presentations. Competence words are related to professionalism. Effective, productive, and expert are suitable for the expensive futuristic office. Do you want to add even more effect? Use numbers, graphs, and percentages. A correct analysis of the situation is half the success. Some words fall into both categories. When you say perfect, interesting, or creative, such a description can apply to each of these sectors. Whatever you choose, avoid words from the danger zone. They have a negative meaning or sound boring. Problem or stress is not what your manager wants to see in an email. There is no universal guide. You need to assess the environment and culture in which you work. Are you preparing an email for your boss with little time for emotion? Use more competence, but leave a hint of warmth in a watered-down sentence. Are you at a social event to help children? Use more warmth, but show that you appreciate the competence of the organizers. You can use balanced formulas for small talk as well. Key point 6. Your unforgettable image. No matter how smart, kind, or witty a person is, we first notice their image when we meet them. The brain likes to generalize, so playing with this trait can create a powerful visual image or personal brand. Neurons in the brain are connected so that we can make associations. When you say fire, you most likely imagine red and yellow. Red is also the color of danger, attention, and action. Managers often use it to emphasize the most essential phrases in presentations. Green, on the other hand, is associated with nature, health, and environmental friendliness. You can see it on the packaging of eco-friendly products or sports goods. You deserve to be respected, taken seriously, and recognized for your hard work. Vanessa Van Edwards. Although the influence of colors on the psyche is mostly a pseudoscience, associations are true and can be powerful. Want to build a personal brand, attract attention, or set the tone for an event? Choose your clothes and accessories wisely. The red carpet and an elegant black dress became legendary images for a reason. However, you should take cultural traditions into account when choosing your outfit. While in Western culture, white is associated with purity and is often used at weddings. In some Asian countries, it can be considered mournful. Sometimes, even small nuances make the difference. Studies show that glasses, for example, are associated with higher competence. If you're going to a job interview, choose them instead of contact lenses, and the panel's first impression may be higher. Even the smallest advantage can be the key to victory. Do you have a video call? That's even better. Charisma depends not only on what you wear, but also on what is around you. The right background, such as shelves of books or beautiful nature outside your window, will help you to create the right atmosphere. Do you have to show your laptop screen for a presentation? Make sure that the picture on it puts you in a pleasant mood. The devil is in the details, but those details can also be the last push to great success. Did you know? Disneyland employees take special courses to give clients maximum psychological comfort while playing a role. Conclusion. Charisma consists of many verbal, nonverbal, and visual components. They all relate to warmth or competence, meaning people can trust and rely on you. One of these traits can prevail, but if none is present, you risk becoming invisible to others. Charisma can be developed by controlling your body, voice, facial expressions, and image. Using these techniques, you will become the most charismatic person in the room. Try this. Smile with your eyes. When you use only the muscles of your lips, but your eyelids don't move, you look insincere. Use touches. While respecting other people's boundaries, you can still close the distance or politely stop the other person by touching them. Verbalize the nonverbal. If you work online, the words hug or high five will break the ice even without these actions.